sky looking like a bruise gone bad. Boots in the dust where the black road ends, pack hanging off my back. I let the town lights flickering like cheap faith in a drunk man's eyes. Bar girl's perfume, preacher's warnings all float somewhere behind. Got a cracked steel cross swinging on my chest. She gave it to me back when my words still meant something, I guess. Blood on my knuckles from the life I climbed through first. Every deal, every lie, every kiss tasted halfway cursed. That mountain stood there, big as all my wrongs in one. Snow on the crown, clouds like angels that forgot where they're from. I put my palm on the rock like I'm taking an old murmur, you know what I've done. Like the stone already knew my ghost. The wind left low, like the devil on his second drink. And the rock felt cold as a mirror, I'm too scared to sink. Will you bend or I break? Fingers slip, lungs burn, grit stuck in my teeth. Past sins hang heavy like a noose I can't quite reach. I press my forehead to the stone, taste dust and iron sky, and I growl, you either give or I go straight through you. When I climb it ain't the mountain bowing down. I said it ain't a mountain bound down. It's my will to make me right. Right, don't move on me. Then I caught my own hillside. I got blood on my face, rust on my prayer, but I still drag both up there. If heaven won't lean, hell won't smile, I'll be the storm that bends this smile. Yeah, it ain't the mountain bound. It's my clown that breaks its crown. Whiskey and altitude. Halfway up, fog rolls in like a ghost I used to know. Smells like cheap whiskey and wild hair tangled in my coat. Heard a voice in the white, you only climb when you wanna forget. She laughed like a match on gasoline, like the first light we ever lit. I saw a silhouette in the mist, dressed made of smoke and sin. Bare feet walk along the ledge where the rock falls straight to the end. Tell me, baby, she whispered, who you think you're fooling? Am I? You climb for redemption or just to stand above this town? My hands slip, hard kick gravel, feel like little black prayers. So this is how they find me, hung between ground and air. I bit my tongue till it bled, smeared it on that cross of steel. Said if I die up here, at least you know I died standing real. The mountain grumbled deep like thunder under bone. And for a breath or two, I swear that rock was breathing on its own. Every fall line in that cliff felt like scars under my hand. Every crack a crooked prayer I never quite could understand. I laid my palm down, cut it on a jagged edge, let red rain in a line. And I told that beast of earth, either you move or I turn you into my night in the moon that. Cause it ain't the mountain bound, it's my will to make me realize if this don't want it for me, then I'll call my own hillside. I got blood on my face, smoke in my lungs, a heart made of dead and undone tongues. Yeah, I've slept with the devil and danced with doubt, but I still drag this tired soul up and out. If heaven won't lean, hell won't smile, I'll be my own cold holy trial. I don't need the sky to ever speak my name, long as I stand taller than the man I was yesterday. Up on that ridge where the thin air cuts like knives, I didn't shout no victory, didn't beg no lie, just took one breath, felt all that weight, finally unwind. And I knew it ain't the mountain that bends, it's the sin-soaked scar-lined, hard-headed will inside. Yeah, Life hit me like a hammer on steel, blow after blow until I forgot how to feel. Most folks crack, twist up, fold wrong, but I burned hotter, burned bright, burned strong. They tried to deform me with heartbreak and spite, but I just came out sharper with every fight. What looked like a ruin was just the forge, and failure was the fire that helped me grow large. And when it all fell fatal, when I nearly lost my aim, I didn't fade, I glowed like metal learning its name. I was forged by the head, I was forged by the head. Sharpened blade, you can strike me with your thunder, you can test me with your flame, 'cause steel is born in violence and will is born the same. The night where light chose me, then came a road at midnight, no moon to lend its way, tired lamps flickering in the gray. When others walked by, those lanterns dimmed and died, but when I stepped through, they lit up from inside. It wasn't luck or blessing, not magic, not decree. The light didn't follow, it recognized me, and in that hush of shadow I whispered to the dark, I don't chase light anymore, I carry my own spark, no more borrowed sun. I ain't waiting for a sunrise, I ain't praying for a beam, 'cause I don't live by borrowed light, I burn with one unseen. I was forged by the hit, by every strike and fall. I didn't stay in ashes, I rose like molten soul, and I walked roads that darken for every other man, but they shine when I pass, 'cause I carry daylight in my hand. I ain't the wreck they hammered, I'm the cut they couldn't blunt, not the shadow begging mercy, but the fire at the front. So let the blows keep coming, let the night stay deep. I ain't just tough, I'm temper strong, and the light has chosen me. Here's to just midnight at some crooked oak wood table, lantern light swinging, shadows moving like they're able. Most men bow to fate like dogs beneath the throne, but you pulled out that chair like destiny owed you alone. No stooping, no shrinking, no eyes cast to floor. You step fate down like you'd been here before, your voice calm, not a tremble, not a plea, just a man saying you ain't above said, I don't fear the test, fear me instead. You call destiny's blood. You call destiny's blood. Look fate straight in the eye. Didn't beg for a better card, just said let's see who survives. You're the kind of fate can't bend, the kind that won't kneel down, because destiny rules most men, but not the one who stares it down. There was a moment, subtle, small, when fate leaned in, trying to gauge it all. You could almost hear it whisper, do you know what you're defying? And you answered, not louder, not softer, just perfectly evenly. I've been broken and burned, but I'm still not dying. Then you cut the deck, hand slow and lethal, like a man who's decided all souls are equal. The lamb flame held its breath like the world took pause, and all the unseen powers realized who the real force was. They unbound. Fate ain't a king when you don't bow, it's just a force, and you know how to stand like equals and make heavens reconsider. Destiny's blood. You call destiny's blood. Didn't tremble, didn't fold, you stared at the inevitable like a legend carved in stone. You didn't ask for mercy, didn't wait for sign, you said let's see who lasts longer, will mine. And when that last card hit the wood, it was destiny that dropped its gaze, not you. You sat there calm as a winter sky, and fate blinked first. And that's the secret most never learn. You don't beat destiny by running, you beat it by meeting. It's there with your own. There was poison once, I felt it hit my veins, from betrayal, from being cast out, from the whisper of old names. They said I wasn't worth the dust beneath their boots, sank fangs into my soul, tried to ride out my roots. I dropped to my knees once, yeah, just once in my life, but I didn't die, I got back up with a different kind of bite. Pain soaked through me like venom in the skin, but instead of killing me, I made that venom mine, baptized in poison. I swallowed every sting, I drank every spite, and then I rose with venom, turning into might. I'm immune to your blades now, immune to your spit. I turn venom into armor and I don't bleed from it. I don't break from your curses, don't flinch at your lies, 'cause I already died once, and a dead man never dies. There was a chain once wrapped around my chest, made of you can't fail, you ain't like the rest. I didn't sit there picking at the lock like a child, I just moved forward slow, hard and wild. With every step I took, that chain grown like a ghost and snapped under the weight of the self I chose. I didn't ask permission, I didn't beg to get. I walked like a man who'd already decided his fate. I heard a voice inside, not gentle, not kind, but firm as steel. You ain't trapped unless you stop moving, boy.
Freedom by motion. Freedom by motion. Freedom by motion.
I didn't break the chain.
Freedom by motion.
The chain broke trying to hold me.
Freedom by motion.
You only stay bound
Freedom by motion.
if you stand still and let it own you. Pain turns into something immortal. Set by a dying fire, breath slow but intense. A dream once bright, now flickered like a coal gone thin. Barely alive, like a secret holding on within. Folks had told him let it go, life don't work that way. Accept the hand you're dealt, don't fight, don't stay. But he cupped that ember in his cracked up palms, shielded it from the wind like a father holding calm. God in the last spark, God in the last spark. It wasn't loud, wasn't bold, but it was the last piece of his soul. He murmured to that ember small, I won't let you fall. He kept the ember breathing. But not burned out. Some men bury their dreams, some keep them warm through night. And when it blew into that spark, it rose into its own light, where the sun was born from smoke. There came a dawn, no witnesses at sight, no crowd to gasp, no judge to write. Just him alone with that stubborn flame, and the future calling out his hidden name. He leaned down slow, eyes steady and clear, breathe life into that cold like a quiet prayer. And the fire that answered wasn't red, it was gold like sunrise. The dead never expected. No, not a miracle, not luck's embrace, but the hand of a man refusing to erase the last light of what he believed inside, the part of him that never truly died. Chosen faith, disclaimed dreams ain't given, they're maintained. He kept that spark alive like law, because it was the last truth he ever saw. Dream forged in the dawn, he kept the ember breathing, gave it air until it roared when all others turned away. That dream he kept restored. He didn't beg the stars, didn't kneel for fate. He walked through night with fire he chose to cultivate. Now the ones who told him quit live in shadow while he shines, because the dream they wrote is dead became the sun that rose from his mind. And you can bury any hope, but you can't kill what's protected by will. A dream don't die until it's on earth. Listen, he never did, and that's why it lives. He never did, and that's why it lives. I've burned before, hell, I've burned clean through. Walked into fires that carved scars right on cue. There were times flames shoot me down to bone, times I screamed like a sinner walking through judgment alone. But tonight I stepped back into the blaze with a different kind of calm, a different gaze. This wasn't fate dragging me down again. This was me coming back as something flame can't bend. The fire hissed like it remembered my screams, but I didn't flinch, I've outgrown those dreams. I told myself with a voice low and still, you don't feel the heat feels your will. I made the flame step back, I made the flame step back. I've been shiver at my hand, I've been tempered by the burn. Now I own the fire brand, now I own the fire brand. I don't beg for mercy, don't run from scorch or spark. I turn from wounded flesh into a heart of dark. The ritual of touching fire, I reached out slow, touched the blaze with skin, expecting no pain but felt something different within. It shook like a wild beast tethered to a vow, like rage that been broken to a bridle somehow. I whispered to it, not as enemy or prey. You had your time, but that time was yesterday. And the flame bent inward like a servant bowing low, like even hellfire had learned who runs the show. Every blister I carried, every wasn't made a weakness that he could claim. I'd become the iron inside the flame, forged by the torch. You ain't shaped by the calm, you're shaped by what you face. And fire don't destroy you when you carry your own blade. You ain't shaped by the calm, you're shaped by what you face. And fire don't destroy you when you carry your own blaze. I made the flame still bang. I made the flame still bang. Made it tremble at my side. Don't bow to burning. I am the burning light. I don't pray for shielded skies. Don't beg the smoke to part. I walk through fire steady with a furnace for a heart. Yeah, I burned and bled and blistered, but those wounds became my claim. Now when I step into the fire learns my name. And when I walked away, skin cool, eyes bright, the blaze still flickered like a beast in doubt. 'Cause once you stop fearing fire, fire starts fearing you. It's sundown and the world's gone cold on you. Faces turned away like you ain't worth a view. Nobody handed you a throne or a claim. Hell, they barely bother remembering your name. You walk through failures like cemeteries and dust, through shame that stuck like rust, through the silence of the ones who watched you drown, and never offered even a splinter from their crown. One hurt learns to harden, but every crack in you, every damn bruise didn't break you down, it gave you a different proof. Pain carved something quiet in your skin, a mark that said power comes from within. Your crown of scars, you wear a crown of scars, a halo forged through hurt, not handed down by kings, but risen through the dirt. Maybe there was a night no one saw you stand, when you wiped blood off your brow with a torn up hand. Maybe someone snarled, you'll never rise from this, and you smiled just a little like a gambler with a sure bet. And the pain that would have broken most men clean turned into alloy in your bloodstream. Your spine learned the language of storms. Your heart made a covenant to transform. You don't need applause in the hall. You don't need a title tell you you're tall. Your crown ain't gold, it's a part of you that refused to fold. A quiet coronation, there wasn't music when it happened, no choir calling your name. It was just you choosing to never be the same. Ahead of your own name. You wear a crown of scars, raised up through every style. You ain't the king they crown, you're the one they couldn't break. Your royalty ain't borrowed, it's the path your wounds create. And someday someone younger will stare at your weathered form, and they'll learn some crowns are born from tempests, not from being born. You don't need the world to kneel or anybody to see, because that crown of scars was always meant for you alone. And it grew from every pain you chose to survive. About midnight up on that jagged rim, where the canyon yawns like a grave carved slim. He stood there alone, boots kissing the brink, looking down at the dark like he dared it to blink. Folks say once you hear that wind start to sing, it ain't just nature, it's a noose with wings. Many a lost soul walked up here, vanished like ghosts, leaving only questions where they mattered most. He didn't shake, didn't curse, didn't cry, just fixed that abyss with a calm, steady eye. You could feel the cliff leaning closer in hunger, like a beast that's certain it's about to drag one under. A whisper at the border, there was a voice in a skull, cold and sweet as sin. Jump, let go, just enter den. But he breathed in slow, let the silence stay, and answered it quiet. Not tonight, not that way. He turned his back on the abyss with steps like iron fists. It ain't courage to jump, it's courage to resist. The void called his name, but he walked away unclaimed. Some souls escape by leaving, he escaped by staying sane. Yeah. The walk back to breathe. Yeah. He felt the ground behind him like a promise kept, and each step away from the edge felt heavy, but honest and meant. He didn't run, he walked slow as Judgment Day, like a man who'd chosen life in the quietest way. A memory struck him, not bright but true. Someone who once whispered there's still something left for you, and maybe it was love or guilt or fate. But it lit a small fire he could not let abate. He passed a started cedar clawing up through rock, a survivor rooted deep with no life. Or to walk, he laid his palm on that stubborn little tree, a silent ritual, a grounded decree. The bravery of turning And somewhere in the canyon's depth, the wind learned his name, not as a vanished echo, but as the one who overcame. I hit the ground more times than I can count. By betrayal, by mistake, by what folks think I ain't enough about. Face in the dust, spine bent, fist slow to rise. But every damn time I stood back up with fire in my eyes. One time they said stay down, that's where you belong. I spat a tooth, wiped the blood, said you read me all wrong. A man don't earn his bones by living clean. He earns them through the blows that cut him deep and unseen. Even when I cracked low, even when I shook, there was steel in me they never once took. I whispered through the hurt, through the dust I ate. You can break my peace, but you won't break my faith. I am the bone that didn't break, the line that didn't snap. You can bend me till I scream, but I'll always bend right back. I ain't made of fragile hope, I'm carved from stubborn faith. I ain't born to show the pain, I'm forged to carry weight. Where the hurt turns holy, the hardest fall took me flat, stripped with raw defeat. Heard something inside me, but it wasn't retreat. It wasn't bones breaking, nor spirit undone. It was etching like a blade, carving into stone. I muttered to myself, half laughing through the pain. I don't fall to fail, I fall to train. And right there, in the dark, in the ache of weight, my weakness reshape into a harder state. I pressed my palm to my chest, felt a burn beneath the skin. Not from fear, but from the iron growing in. It ain't God nor devil who rolled my spine. It was every hit I took and refused to call the end of the line. Risen, not repair. I didn't heal, I changed. Didn't mend, I reframed. What broke others never broke me, it just changed what I became. I am the bone that didn't break, the will that didn't fold. You can crush me in the dark, I'll rise harder than before. I ain't made of borrowed strength, I'm built from every storm I've faced. Some bones are born for suffering, but mine was born to never break. Yeah. Yeah. To never lost my shape. But I never lost my shape. It ain't the soul you bury, I'm the soul you fail to break. And when the dust clears quiet and the pain fades out slow, I'll stand taller than the man you once thought you'd overthrow. Not 'cause I dodged the blows, but because I used them to become something unshakable down to the marrow. Late afternoon, sun burning rust on the square. Footsteps echo where old empires used to swear. That statue towered over every living soul. Chiseled jaws of tyrants carved from ancient control. I walked right up, lone shadows stretching tall, while the crowd shuffled past with their eyes stuck to the ground like a log. Some bowed their heads like the marble was still a god, but I just lifted my gaze, steady, unflawed. The wind grew quiet like it held its breath, and I let mine steady to calm as death. I locked eyes with that cold gray face, and the world fell to silence like a courtroom without a case. I make the stone remember, I make the marble feel. My will ain't soft or subtle, it's tempered iron steel. If statues blink before me, it ain't magic, it's a truth. Power don't live in monuments, it burns inside the man uncouth. The crowd moved on like sheep to the old world tomb. Didn't see the damn impossible happen in that dusty afternoon, but I saw a flicker like life in its eyes. Not stone moving, but stone recognizing mine. I whispered low, like speaking to an equal spirit. You were built to rule, I was born to break it. And somewhere deep inside that weathered throne of rock, it bowed not in motion, but in shock. No one saw but me, no proof, no word, no cheer. And I didn't need a witness to crown what I already wear. I make the stone remember, I make the grand defined. That statue stayed frozen for every other pair of eyes, but I carry that blink inside me like a silent vow that never dies. It's late Sunday evening, candles barely hanging on. Shadows stretch like judgment from pew to warm stone. Everyone on their knees, whispering at the air, begging for a favor from a God who ain't quite there. But you kept your boots flat on that holy floor, hands loose at your side like a gunslinger at the door. Eyes aimed upward at that dusty vault of dawn, looking like a man who wrestled fate and made it groan. No voice hits, you got no reverence, son, but still said louder than any prayer ever done. And you answered with a calm that cut the air clean. I show respect by never begging for what's already been seen. You don't kneel, you stand, plead on the man. If the heavens stay quiet, don't make your own command. You don't kneel, you stand, you don't plead, you the man. If the heavens stay quiet, you'll make your own command. Some men pray for miracles, some men rise and become them. You weren't born to follow, you were forced to overcome. The silent dialogue, maybe just a thought. Why don't you ask me for the things you never got? You smirk like a sinner who learned the law of storms. You gave me spine and fire, that's enough to transform. Your hand brushed across, hanging crooked on the wall, but you didn't bow to it, you met it eye to eye tall. Some pray with folded hands, some pray by walking through pain. You pray by standing when all other souls cave in. A woman gasped softly, you're defying the divine, but you just shook your head, whispered, it ain't defiance if the power's always been mine. You're defying the divine, but you just shook your head, whispered it ain't defiance if the power's always been mine. Faith ain't something you borrow, faith ain't made tomorrow. You carry your redemption like embers in your veins, burning through shadows, burning through chains. You don't kneel, you stand, you don't plead, you command. If the heavens stay quiet, you'll make your own command. You don't kneel, you stand, you don't plead, you command. If the heavens stay quiet, you'll make your own command. Wash without begging, you hold lightning in your hand. You ain't the lamb who's praying, you're the storm that shapes the land. You don't seek out wonder, you walk like one on earth. You don't wait for answers, you become the voice they're worth. And as the others stayed bowed heads down the sacred floor, you walk right past them through those wide cathedral doors. The night air met you like a crown placed without sound, not because you were heard by heaven, but because you never needed heaven to be found. kitchen, cold lamplight humming like a tidal hymn. No woman's voice, no brother's knock, just him, that wood grain tabletop. A cracked Bible lay open but untouched, a whiskey glass standing there, bone dry and just. He brushed his thumb across the page like he might pray, but prayer ain't never answered in the right damn way. He said nothing, and that silence said it all. You could hear his heartbeat echo off the peeling walls. A single tear fell from his eye to the ground, sat there glimmering like a sin he couldn't explain. Weakness in the fuel. He stared at that drop, breath held tight. No shame, no tremble, just a worn out fight. And he whispered to himself like confessing in the dark, tonight I drink what broke me and turn it into sparks. Tears like whiskey let the burn run down his bones, turn sorrow into something felt a lot like going home. Ain't nobody watching, ain't nobody gotta know, but the man who swallows weakness becomes the one the storms bow low. Devil at the table, angel at the door, then came a sound like a knuckle on the door. And wind or something older scratching at the core. He didn't rise, just said low without moving. If you're the devil, said I ain't the one you proving. That tear burned his tongue like fire catching wood, and he saw flashes of the man he used to be and the man he never could. His mother's voice shimmered from a rusted memory. Boy, don't hide from the pain, make it kneel for thee. He breathed deep, let the truth seep in, felt steel grow where hurt had been. He closed the Bible slowly, not in denial, not in spite, but like a man who'd found his sermon in the darkest night. He pressed his palm to his chest where old sin sleep, felt the pulse of a heart that refused to creep, and he murmured just above a gravel side, pain don't own me, I teach it how to die. Tears like whiskey let the fire melt the frost, forge a blade inside his spirit from every dream he lost. Ain't a preacher nor an outlaw that can tell him what he's worth, cause the man who eats his sorrow don't bow to nothing on this earth. He's the quiet kind of thunder, the storm behind the eyes. The world outside stayed just the same, but he rose enough to change its skies. And when morning cracked its pale blue grin, he walked out calm but still where weakness been. Oh, the midnight didn't break him, just taught him how to stand. With tears still on his lips and a fire in his hand. Sun dropping down behind those dead pines red, boots soles chewing gravel where the warm path bled. Behind me, a pack of men walking shoulder to shoulder, same eyes, same steps, same souls getting older. One of them growled, Don't stray off track, another bar, just stick with the path. It sounded like chains rattling in the night, like men who forgotten what it feels like to fight. I touch your revolver hanging quiet on my waist, not to threaten, just to remind myself a taste. Freedom tastes like iron, like wind, like dust, but never like obedience, born from rule. Their warnings clawed in my spine, my heartbeat kicked against the line, and I told myself beneath my breath, following ghosts is just a slow kind of death. I walk my own dirt, I walk my own dirt, I walk my own dirt. Don't matter if it's wrong or right, a path ain't worth a damn if it's someone else's side. I ain't shaped by your fear, ain't led by second-hand truth. A map ain't nothing but the graveyard of old proof. Your love old proof, your love old proof. The question that split the silence, it grabbed at my shoulder when I stepped ahead. Said you're making a mistake, follow us instead. I turned back slow, eyes like steel in a storm. Asked which one of you's been where I'm headed toward. Silence fell, heavy like a coffin lid. They looked at their boots like guilty kids. One man whispered, ain't no one gone that far. Voice shaking like prayer beneath the falling star. I grinned a tight grin, not proud, not wild, just done being tribe's obedient child. I spat in the dust, a small outlaw ritual, letting the land taste my choice. Personal, spiritual, shadows in my veins, not veins, but I learned how to muzzle that pain. And I mutter like a man speaking to his future face. Don't wait for permission, just claim your place. I walk my own dirt, I walk my own dirt, I walk my own dirt. Don't matter if it's wrong or right, I'll carve a trail so sharp it'll cut me through the night. If the world don't follow, then it damn sure better stay. Cause I'll rise from every dead end like smoke from a prayer. Yeah, I ain't shaped by their feet, ain't bound by second-hand truth. Cause a path that don't exist is the one I'm riding into. And when I vanish past where their footprints end, it feel like breaking out, not breaking off from friends. The crowd fades, the road breathes, the night opens wide. I ain't lost, I'm finally on the trail that fits my stride. I ain't lost, I'm finally on the trail that fits my stride.